So Barbara, welcome. You are from Banking Circle, Head of Compliance. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why this topic is so important to you.
First thing, just thank you, Nadia, for organizing this chat. I'm very happy to be here, and the first time for me at EWPN. Thank you for having me. I'm Barbara, and I'm the Head of Compliance for the UK branch of Banking Circle, where I lead compliance, governance, risk management. I've been in the compliance space for over 15 years now, but I come from a totally different environment. I will talk to you about it later. And nothing, so that's me.
I think in this talk today, you will all be inspired for yourselves, but inspired by others. And I want to talk a little bit about the impact of a boss that truly got you and how we can all learn from that story. So tell us more.
Yes, sure. I need to do a step back and explain you where I come from. Otherwise, you wouldn't get how and why I'm here today. Today, I'm a compliance professional, but I come from a different environment. So I study science. As Iga said this morning, I share the same experience as her. So my background is completely different. Study science. I got a PhD in plant biochemistry and ecophysiology, so something totally different and unrelated. At one point in my life, around my 30th, because I was working at the uni on and off contract, I decided wisely to follow my husband's career. So he has been offered the position abroad, and I said, okay, let's just quit everything, my job, and I will support you. We'll go together and we'll build a new future for us. I had a 6-month-old baby at that time. So we moved country, lived in Spain. I'm Italian, by the way. So I left Italy, went to Spain for 4 years, and I promised to my husband, I will support you. I will, until we are settled, I won't find or look for any job. But the stagnant situation is not something I'm feeling comfortable with. And also the stay-at-home mom wasn't a thing for me. So I didn't stick to my promise at that time. And after a while, I started looking for jobs. No jobs in science at all in that area where I was. I was in Andalusia. And I was living just outside the Gibraltar border. As you can imagine, many of you know, that is dominated by gambling industry. And the jobs there for someone who has no experience whatsoever in gambling was very basic customer service, 24/7 shift jobs. I applied for that and I got a position. It was very challenging actually accepting it for different reasons. First, I had to reinvent myself. I had to forget about all the sacrifices, the studies, everything. And then I was also by myself. My mom didn't talk to me for a month. She was against that. My husband said it's unacceptable that with a 5-month-old baby with a PhD, you are going to do a night shift. And I said, yeah, I said, Faith, I promise things will change. And I started working as a customer service, and I volunteered with one of my managers to help him in applying for the license. Gambling was not licensed at that time. It was the beginning with the UK Gambling Commission. And I got passionate about compliance. But that was not the point. The point was after. So I had a great opportunity. My husband was offered the position in London. He came home and said, I'm not going to even think about it. I'm so happy in Spain with my career. I'm fine. And I say, well, I don't think so. I think we need to think about it. It's a better future for me, for our daughter, for our family. Let's move to London. He's still complaining about it after 11 years, by the way. So we moved in the UK, and I said, don't worry, we stay home for 1 year, 1.5 years. We settled because things are different there. I didn't have a house. We were in a temporary accommodation. Didn't have a nursery. In London is a thing, getting a nursery. Nothing. As we landed, I applied for jobs first month we were in a temporary accommodation, I got a position in compliance. And it was challenging because I did not have any experience. I still don't know how I succeed on the interview. But that was the turning point, and where my manager was a woman, got me, because he actually saw a potential that I didn't see. And also, she didn't judge me. She was not scared of getting someone with no experience in compliance. She was not scared of getting someone with a 4-year-old child with no nursery and no house. And she said, go and get it sorted, 1 month, 2 months. I need someone tomorrow, but I will wait. You come and I will onboard you. So my husband is still crying because he was desperate. He said, no way, how can we do it? Again, don't worry, we'll fix it. And I started working with this massive, big gambling company. After a few months, another turning point, another manager who helped me. And then I will tell you more about it. But here is more about getting someone who trusts you, but more important is actually prove yourself and trust yourself. That was then what I did at that moment in time.
So you can all see why I just love Barbara's story, and I was so excited to celebrate it on stage. And I think, there was a point in that story where you said, I don't know how I got that job without the experience. This is it. It's the attitude, it's the positivity, it's the determination. And even, sharing this story with us today, I'm sure that so many people will have moments in their life where they're not sure whether they should give themselves that choice and get themselves that chance. And that's why we wanted to call the talk that today, because there's so many more examples that you're going to share with us. Now, there was one in particular. I wanted us to hone in on the power that you have given yourself by just saying yes when something is, brought your way. One of the biggest lessons you shared with me, I'd love for you to share with everybody, and it's how you created options for yourself. I know AML was one of those, so please can you share that with the audience?
Yes, because continuing my story, so a few months in that company, and what happened? The director came to me and say, Barbara, would you like to volunteer as a DMLRO for AML? And I say, yeah, why not? The funny thing is that I did not know what AML was and the DMLRO was. So I ran straight to my desk and Googled it. Once I realized the responsibility linked to it, I went back to to that director and say, thank you very much for offering me this opportunity. Now I need this diploma in AML because I need this to fulfill my job, and I want you to support me. And again, I was supported on that time. Yeah, I was lucky enough to be supported by my company, studied and became a Deputy Money Laundering Reporting Officer and MLRO for Europe. And I was, again, the power of say yes at that moment in time. Why not me? And maybe a pinch of recklessness on that, and braveness, let's say. Yeah, that helps sometimes.
But then going back and saying, this is what I need to make it a success. Like, I'm sure when Barbara was just sharing that, many of you would have thought maybe she would go back and say, oh, actually, I don't know what this is. She didn't, but she went back and said, this is what I need to be a success. And this is why I just love so many parts of this story. You've also stressed a lot the importance of believing in your mission, knowing where you want to get to and really going after that. Gambling was a great fit for you for a while and got you so far, but Banking Circle has taken you further. So what is this about the mission that drives you so passionately today?
Yeah, at the moment I say I'm living the dream. I'm doing the job that I love, and I'm in synchronized with the company and the mission of the company. Gambling, yes, was not a fit for me. I've never gambled in my life. I've been in the industry for more than 10 years, but was not. And I decided to move to financial services, and it was another challenge because I applied with a giant on its nature to ING Bank for a compliance position. And it is hard when you are one of 100 people applying for a role to get the role with no experience in compliance, prior experience in financial services, sorry. And they trusted me because sometimes transferable skills is better than a job title or what you have in your CV. So I was good in pitching myself. Just trust me, I not overpromise, never overpromise, always honest and humble, but not overpromise on what I can deliver, but on what I can do as an added value. And that's where then I opened the door to the financial services, and then after a while I got my current role at Bank & Circle, where the mission is, I truly believe in Bank & Circle mission. What we do is enabling cross-border payment globally in an efficient way and cutting the cost. And what is great is the product itself is easy, is simple, but the implementation and the delivery of the product is not. And what we are great at is what we have built behind, so the tech stack. And we double up on compliance, we double up on screening, transaction monitoring that we do in-house, we have in-house. And the great things is we don't compete with our clients, but we support them. Think about, we have around 600 plus clients that are FinTech, e-money institution, banks, that with a single API can reach local clearing. So this is the mission that we have, and I truly believe on that.
And you can tell that, you truly believe in that mission. And just as you were talking about that, you spoke about transferable skills, the way that you've been able to convince people that you have the transferable skills, but also that you can build on them, you can learn, and you should be given that chance as you move forward within your career. What advice would you give others about how they can do the same and really pitch and explain their transferable skills?
Yeah, to me, you should highlight what are the strengths. I can give you an example. When I succeeded in the financial sector, coming from a gambling sector, was because I highlighted that I came from a much higher risk environment, going to a lower risk environment. At that time was open banking, so much lower. So I said, I come from something that is much higher risk. I can bring some knowledge, I can bring my experience on that and cover for that, which you don't have maybe if you come from the same sector, and also you have a different perspective on that. And this is what I pitching. And so I said, maybe not in financial services, but my skill can have an added value in your company. And that was, I think, what they valued at that time.
And that is just so valuable, being able to explain that and to convince, but also that sort of beginning part to convince yourself and make that first step. I think that's so powerful. And that hasn't been easy. You've often found yourself as the only one in the room. You've often found yourself with the different point of view, that different perspective. And I think with everything that we've been learning today, that's powerful. But actually, it's about convincing certain people in the industry that different perspectives are a strength and not a challenge. They're an opportunity and not hindrance. So tell us some of your thoughts on how you've been doing that throughout your career.
Yeah, I think since this morning I'm hearing this is a common theme of being the only one in the room. In the past, I found it a challenge. Now, as you said, it's an opportunity because I bring different perspective. Male, female, we are two different environments and two different mind setting. What was a challenge now is a new good things, because a different perspective is what we need to drive to a better decision making and the better outcomes. What I can see is that what also taught me by being the only one in an environment dominated by men is to speak more clearly, be more direct, and active listener, and sometimes much more simple. What I don't compromise on is on one of my personality traits, which is very important, is empathy. I don't think we need to raise a voice to be listened or to drive the audience. I think you just need to respect and be clear with people, and empathy is something I won't compromise on. And not behave as a man. I don't want to behave as a man. I still want to behave as a woman.
See, be more Barbara. I love it.
Thanks, Ed.
My final question, Barbara, I know you do so much for other people in the industry. I mean, even just hearing this story is it's just so inspirational, and I love that, you know, we've had a few laughs at some of the situations where other people just wouldn't have given it a go, but you gave it a go. You gave yourself that choice. You got yourself that chance. What would be your final words of advice to others to pay it forward to those around them in the industry?
Yes, I think everything trickles down to believing in yourself and be curiosity and eager to learn. And then, yes, then be brave. I've said that pinch of recklessness helps. Just go, trust yourself. You are more powerful than you think. Yeah, I do also when I go to the gym with my PT. She said, 5 kilos on top. Are you sure? Yes, you are stronger than you think. So you're stronger than you think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure about it.
Absolutely. And next time we are all thinking about something in our career, can I do it? Is it too much? Remember, be more Barbara. So after me, great. Nice and loud, be more Barbara. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you very much, Nadia. Thanks.